In this video, we're going to be taking a look at customary units of capacity, and right away it's important to understand what capacity even is, and I do want you to write this down in your math journal. Okay, so capacity is the amount that a container can hold. Okay, so you can see this cup right here is dealing with capacity. And what I mean by customary units of capacity, that means we're going to be looking at cups, ounces, pints, quarts, gallons, and so on. Okay, this is the units of measurement that we use to measure capacity in the United States, while the rest of the world uses the metric system. Okay, so we're going to first of all think about our goal for today. And the goal for today is to compare, contrast, and also convert customary units of capacity. Now we're going to unlock the problem together, so I want everyone to turn to page 409 in your math book, and let's take a look at this together. It says, Mara has a can of paint with 3 cups of purple paint in it. She also has a bucket with a capacity of 26 fluid ounces. Will the bucket hold all of the paint Mara has? Okay, now it is important to think about some things first of all. First of all, you can see in that purple box, and let's fill this out together. It says, what capacity does Mara need to convert? Okay, so what not only Mara needs to do, but we also need to do that as well. We need to convert 3 cups to fluid ounces. Okay, and we can write that right up there. I know mine's a little sloppy, didn't have too much room there, but 3 cups to fluid ounces is that's what Mara needs to do. Now, after Mara converts the units, what does she need to do next? Okay, so along with us, what we need to do, we need to compare the amount of paint with the fluid ounces the bucket will hold. Okay, so I don't have enough room to write it here, but I do want you to write it right in your math journal. I'll repeat it again. Compare the amount of paint with the fluid ounces the bucket will hold. Okay, so we need to think about some things here. Okay, first of all, we need to figure out or think about how many cups are in how many fluid ounces are in 1 cup. And you can even see on page 410, and I'll have you write that that table down in just a second in your notes. 1 cup, we know, equals 8 fluid ounces. Okay, so to get you to visualize what we're doing, okay, we can see that our model here is telling us to convert 3 cups to fluid ounces. Okay, so we can see that we have 8 fluid ounces in each cup. So 1, 2, 3 cups here, okay, is actually going to be 8, 16, 24. It's going to be 24 total fluid ounces, and we can write that right in here. So 24 total fluid ounces. All right, now to record this, 3 cups. And what we do, just like we did in the previous video, whenever you're going from a larger to smaller unit of measurement, L to S equals multiplying, and smaller to larger is going to equal dividing. So 3 cups times fluid ounces in 1 cup, we can see 8 here. We have 8, which is right here, equals 24 total fluid ounces. Okay. Now from here, we can see that 24 fluid ounces is actually less than 26 fluid ounces. Okay, so we've done our first step. Now it's time to complete the second step and pretty much figure out the answer. So we have, since 24 fluid ounces is less than 26 fluid ounces, there we go, not student ounces, fluid ounces, Mara's bucket will hold all of the paint. Okay, as you can see that there were 26 total fluid ounces of the capacity of the bucket, and there were 3 cups of purple paint, so it will hold this. Okay, now let's think about a what-if question. So it says, what if Mara has 7 cups of green paint and a container filled with 64 fluid ounces of yellow paint? What color paint does Mara have more of? Okay, we're going to explain our reasoning. Okay, now we can first of all, what we need to do is figure this out. So if there are 7 cups of green paint, what we need to do is we need to multiply 7. We need to convert this to fluid ounces. 7 times 8, 8 fluid ounces of 1 cup. That's going to give me 56. So 56 fluid ounces of green paint, 64 fluid ounces of yellow paint. Which color paint does Mara have more of? We know that Mara has more yellow paint, and I do want you to write that down on this line here. Mara has yellow paint. Okay, then the explanation is there are 56 fluid ounces of green paint. Okay, so we could even put an explanation of 64 fluid ounces is greater than 56 fluid ounces of yellow paint. Okay, so we can definitely see that Mara does have more yellow paint than green paint. Okay, we're going to take a look at an example. And the first thing I do want you to do is write down the customary units of capacity. I do want you to write down that chart. 1 cup equals 8 fluid ounces. 1 pint equals 2 cups. 1 quart equals 2 pints. And finally, 1 gallon equals 4 quarts. And it is important just to have something like that memorized so you can do these pretty quickly. Okay, now the example, it says, Coral made 32 pints of fruit punch for a party. She needs to transport the punch in 1-gallon containers. How many containers does Coral need? Okay, now it says in that purple box there on page 410, to convert a smaller unit to a larger unit, you need to divide. Sometimes you may need to convert more than once. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're converting pints to gallons. Now, the next unit of measurement right next to gallons is actually quarts. Okay, so we may have to convert a couple times here. Now it says step 1, write an equation to convert pints to quarts. So it says 32 total pints. Okay, and what we're going to do, since we are going from from a smaller unit of measurement to a larger, we are going to divide. 32 pints divided by the number of pints in 1 quart, which is going to be 2, and that's going to equal 16. 32 divided by 2 will give us 16. Now you can use your calculator on something like that. Now that we've converted our pints into quarts, we can now figure out how many total gallons we have. So now it says write an equation to convert quarts to gallons. So we have 16 total quarts, and we are going from a smaller unit of measurement to larger, so that means we're going to divide. We're going to divide that 16 by however many quarts are in 1 gallon. We can see that there are 4 quarts in a gallon, so we're going to divide that by 4. And that will equal 4 total gallons. You can see we had to do 2 conversions here. Okay, so it says, so Coral needs 4 1-gallon containers to transport the punch. Now what I want you to do is turn to page 410, and I want you to complete numbers 1 through 4. And when you're finished with this, you can press play, and I will have the answers for you. So you can pause the video now. Okay, I have the answers for you. It says use the pictures to complete the statement and convert 3 quarts to pints. So I know that 1 quart equaled 2 pints. 1 quart is greater than 1 pint, therefore I'm going to be multiplying. 3 quarts times 2 pints, and 1 quart equals 6 total pints. Okay, now for number 2, you had to convert 2 times. 3 gallons equals how many pints? You had to multiply 3 times 4. And we need to figure out quarts first of all. That gave us 12 quarts and 3 gallons, and we multiplied 12 quarts times 2 pints, giving us 24. The next one, multiplying 5 trying to figure out how many quarts, five quarts equals how many pints. We multiplied 5 times 2. The reason why we multiplied is because we went from a larger to smaller. The reason why you multiplied by 2 is because there are 2 pints in each quart. And then finally, 6 quarts equals how many cups. Multiplied 6 times 2, because we need to figure out how many pints are in 6 quarts first of all, and that gave us 12. And we know that 2 cups equals 1 pint, so we multiplied 12 times 2, giving us 24. Now, one thing I do want you to do is explain in your math journal how converting units of capacity is similar to converting units of length, and how is it different. Okay, now what I want you to do is think about it's the same, or it's similar, because you multiply when you're going from a larger unit of measurement to smaller, and you divide when you're going from a smaller unit of measurement to larger. However, it is different because we are using different units of measurement. For example, customary units of length, we are using feet and inches and so on. Customary units of capacity, we're using pints, quarts, gallons, and so on. So that's how it's similar, and that's how it's different. And this is how you compare, convert customary units of capacity. If you have any questions about this topic, please come and see me.